Last week, I spent 3 days whole critiquing and improving content for online coaches. So, my name's Sean, I'm a copywriter. I work with online coaches specifically. I also work within part of a mentorship, teaching people how to be better coaches, and not just to be better coaches, but to be better at selling their coaching package as well. So, I spent a couple of days doing that personally with my own clients. Then I was invited in to do a session with the group, right? And when I was doing these critiques, there was one biggest thing. When I was doing these critiques, there was one main point that I saw that stood out among all of them across the board. It was the biggest opportunity that all these coaches were missing in their content. Okay. Now, as coaches, you've probably been told about pain points. Okay. Everybody knows pain points, right? Poke the pain points. Wind the fucker up. Do you know what I mean? Like that. But there's a better word for it, right? I don't like pain points. I like the word empathy. Okay. I think that if you can include a level of empathy, a level of making the person in your audience feel seen, making them feel like they're not part of a crowd, like they are being isolated, singled out, and told specifically exactly what their problem is and how you can solve it. That's how you forge a connection. You know, the whole point of poking pain points is to make the audience understand, or to show the audience that you understand how they feel. So one way of doing that is to poke the pain points. But when you poke the pain points, all you do by making these statements and agitating the pain is you just make them feel shit, right? And let me ask you this, okay? If you are somebody who has moved jobs at any point in your life, okay? If you have had a job and you have felt shit about turning up to work every day and you have gone to find another job, have you ever made a good decision in that mindset? Of course not, because you feel like shit. You are that determined to escape the pain, you're going to find any way to do it, right? And in this case, it's going to be to turn the fucking phone off and ignore what you're saying. So we have to be clever about it, right? If you're wanting to sell a service, and let's be real, okay? Sales isn't sleazy, okay? Sales is only sleazy when there is not a mutual benefit, okay? With any sale, somebody gets cash and somebody gets a product or a service that benefits them in their life. The only way that this is sleazy whatsoever is if you are selling a product or service that has absolutely no benefit to the other person. Which is where this comes in even more, because if you are able to show empathy, if you are able to show the buyer that you understand them, they're firstly going to require a lot less arm twisting to get in the service because they're going to feel like it's right for them. And secondly, they're going to know that it's the right service. They're going to be fully bought in. And if they're fully bought in, they're more likely to get a result. Okay. So when you're structuring empathy into your posts, I like to talk about, this is where I will use the word pain. I like to talk about the pain pit. Okay. So let's go from left to right. Okay. You're starting your post. Here's your audience at the moment. And where they are right now is pretty unengaged, scrolling through Instagram. Maybe they've got a little bit of a heightened interest. Maybe they're starting at a little bit more of an interest point, but generally speaking, they're at a baseline and they are not really asked about making a change today. Not specifically anyway, because if they were, they would have reached out to you already, right? But what you want to do, the first point in your post is going to be a hook, okay? So when you get to that hook point, the idea is to pique their interest up here, okay? This is where the hook is. You want to get somebody in. You want to make sure that they pay attention. So things like when I start this video, depending which version you're watching, when I start this video and I say, I spent 3 days critiquing coaching, or here's the biggest thing that coaches struggle with, that's the hook, and it's getting you into the content, right? When we got the hook, what we want to do next is you want to take that mood down, right? If you take it below this point where they're not really asked about you, right, you're not really doing the job. All you're doing is you're pushing them away. So here is the audience's level of interest in you. Here is the level of interest in the post. The next job is to dig the pain pit, okay? Now, the way I like to see it isn't like a big slope. It is in stages. So the first thing you're going to do is once you've hooked them in, you're going to take them back but here's the problem you've got. Here's why it's worse. And this is where the empathy sits, okay? The empathy sits in this part of the post here, because you're going to be digging down and you're going to say, so for example, like you're somebody, are you somebody, have you got a summer holiday coming up in 8 weeks and you need to lose 10 kilo in that 8 weeks? Boom, yeah, I have, that's me. Okay, cool. Well, have you tried things already? Yeah. And how's that working out for you? Okay. And what are you going to do instead? Oh, nothing, because I don't really know what I'm doing. Oh, okay, that's a bit shit. So you're going to go on holiday and you're going to feel shit about yourself and you're going to wish that you started earlier and all of this is going to happen and you're going to be full of regrets. And then, if only there was something that could solve that problem for you. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so how do we solve this problem? Well, there is an idea. There's a product I've got actually. This is something that will really help you out. Okay, cool. How does it work? Right, and you're up here. See, this is the pain pit. You're up here, and as you, guy, you're going to drop a rope out here. You're going to lasso a big rope, and you're going to go, here you go, mate. Because I'm on this side of the pain pit. This is your product, your service, right? You're going to pull them out of this pain pit. This is a journey that all customers will go on, right? They will start by not giving a shit about the problem. They will be well aware of the problem. They will, as they're aware of the problem, dig themselves further and further into the pain pit. And then somebody or something, which could be themselves, let's be honest, right? But somebody or something will throw them a rope, pull them out of the pain pit, and show them where they need to be, okay? So whenever you're structuring any kind of post, you want it to psychologically mirror their journey, right? Which is not giving a shit about the problem, really giving a shit about the problem, not really doing anything to fix it until the pain gets so bad. Let's have this little pit here. I can't draw a skull and crossbones, and that's not really what you're here for, but let's pretend that's the skull and crossbones. That's the deadly point. That's the worst bit. Fuck, I hate this. So how am I going to find my way out, right? Now, the thing is, here's where it really matters, right? If you are on your posts, grabbing their interest and getting them in the hook, but then only going there, well, they don't need your help to get out of that pit, do they? If your entire marketing strategy doesn't take your audience down into the pain pit and all they do is take them on a slow slope, then they can step out of that themselves, right? And they don't need your help. Another alternative, right, is to take them on there and take them a little bit lower. And you might dig in a little bit. This might be a sense of, so this one is like, you're going to go on holiday, you're going to feel shit, you're going to be full of regrets, you're going to be hiding your roles, you're going to be cutting back on the all-inclusive buffet. This is going to ruin your holiday. And then your missus is going to hate it, and she's going to be like, this is the final straw. I'm fucking sick of this, right? I'm fed up of coming on holiday with you, you fat mess. And all I want to do is go away and enjoy myself. But every time I come away, you're so in your own fucking head about your weight. I can't stand this. That's this point, right? This point here is, oh, I'm going to have to buy some more clothes if I keep putting on weight because I'm feeling a bit fat. Do you know what? I'll just cut back a little bit and hopefully things will sort themselves out. That's that. There's some action required, but they can climb out themselves. This bit here is just like, fucking, I don't know, like, it doesn't even register. It's not even pain. It's just, oh, well, have you noticed you've put some weight on? Yeah, I have. All right, sound. It's like there's no problem, there's no pain, there's no driver for any kind of help required, okay? So when you are creating your posts, starting with the scrolling, and then you want to hook them in, you dig them deep down into this pain pit, and then just when things seem so glum, but not glum enough for them to still not give a shit, you notice we didn't go too far down, because then we lose them. Just when things feel so glum and hopeless, that's when you appear on this side, you drop your product or service down as a solution to the problem. And it's up to them then, whether they stay in that pain pit and scroll on and go, oh, you know what, I'll spend another day feeling shit about myself, or whether you help them out, right? And here's the key. You're helping them out. You're not selling them a product. So, you know what I mean? If you were to dangle this rope here and then be like, wait, you're a shit human being and you shouldn't be selling a service, right? But if this rope is genuinely going to pull them out of this pain pit and put them back up here, feeling excited about life and good about the service and all that kind of shit, right? If it's going to do that, then what's sleazy about that? You're putting somebody in touch with a product or service that can solve their specific problem that you have highlighted and shown that you can relate to, and then you're going to offer them a solution, and that's it, okay? So every post you do, every week of posts you do, every monthly strategy, whatever you're doing, always has to be around the fact of, hooking somebody in, showing them empathy, that you understand the pain, and then offering them a solution on the way out, right? And then when they get up here, this is literally like, this is like your CTA point. You're showing them the way here in the post, okay? So you've got your scrolling, hook, bottom bit of the empathy. Here's what I've got for you. You can see it, and here's your CTA. Do you want to take that step? This is all you have to do is hold on to that, and I'll pull you up. I'll sort it all out, mate. That's no problem. And that's the CTA, and that's how it works, okay? And what they might do is they might then go, I can see it, but I'm not asked. All right, no problem. Come back again, stick in this pain pit. I'll keep showing you back to this point here, and eventually we'll do something about it, right? So when you're marketing, you've got two choices really. You can either sell a solution to the problem, or you can show somebody that there's a problem there. But at the end of the day, if they're only here, they don't need your help to get out. So no matter what you do, they're not buying, right? And they might be down here, but if you're not showing them that they're down here and that this is the solution, they're only going to see this bit and go, why the fuck would I pay you a couple £100 a month to just step over that?